What's going on, everybody? Chase with iDub Hockey here today with Rob Gill, product manager for Warrior Hockey, hanging out in the Little Caesars Arena right now with your brand new LX2 Pro family in front of us. Before we start talking tech and spec, and there's some really exciting stuff I want to get into, let's talk about flex profile and the style of player Alpha's built for.
For sure. So LX2 Pro and Alpha in general, what it's really geared for in the flex profile, it's a mid kick in terms of its kick point. So not ultra low down here, not high or mid all the way up here, but something that still sits below the bottom hand, still provides a nice quick release on shots, but also will provide a lot of power and stability on those heavier shots. And in terms of player, it's really, you know, the way I talk about this stick, it's kind of that jack of all trades type of stick. Like I said, it has a quick release so you can play in tight with it. If you're a defenseman with a big slap shot and that sort of thing, it plays really well out there. Centers taking face-offs, that sort of thing. So it's really a stick that can do it all.
And it really seems like it bridges the gap between covert and Novium, really, like you said, to do it all with that quick release and hard shot power. And now a lot of that power and that stability comes from the Saber taper. We've seen that for a couple years now, and that's no slouch there, but I want to talk about weight and overall construction, because that's the big story with LX2 Pro this year.
For sure. So with the LX2 Pro, we're down to 370 grams at 60 inches for a senior stick. So a nice lightweight stick. But for us, even more importantly than that is what is the balance of the stick. So it's lightweight and that's really cool. But when we really start talking about performance attributes, it's lightweight and it's well balanced. So we pull weight out of both the blade and out of the shaft to keep that balance, keep that playability. And that's what's really going to improve the player's game more so than a really lightweight stick.
And like you said, you brought it out of both sections here. When you pick it up for the first time, it honestly feels lighter than 370. I think I guessed like 360, and that just speaks to how well balanced it is. We talked about the blade and how that's a big change and a big part of why it's so balanced. Walk me through what's so special there.
Yeah, so brand new blade on LX2 Pro, our Fuel Core Ultra. So we're moving away. We've been doing we called it twin rib design for a long time. So two ribs that run down the length of the blade here for that added strength and durability. We've moved down to one rib. It's a single rib. It's more robust. It's bigger, but it really does pull a lot of weight out of that blade. It's surrounded by a nice polymer core, which really provides that great warrior feel for the puck. It's really how I talk about it. It's fairly damp, a little bit of a softer feel, but it's kind of what we're known for in terms of our blade feel. And then that 25K weave wrapping that polymer core. So again, really reducing that blade fatigue in a blade that's going to keep its life for a long time.
And so as you alluded to, we have the 25K carbon fiber down below, but that's also going to be featured throughout the rest of the stick, really to bring that weight down. So walk me through the RLC 188 and why that's so important for players today.
Yeah, RLC 188 is really cool. It's that combination of those high-end materials. So that Minimus carbon 25 you're seeing all the way throughout the shaft, the resins that we use, but then combining that with our really advanced construction process and the way we build our sticks, and not just on the LX2 Pro, but all the way down to the LX2 Comp. So every stick is really put together the same way. The only thing that changes is the materials as you work down. And so what that really provides is a really lightweight stick everywhere, but even more importantly, that balance that I was talking about before. An incredibly well-balanced hockey stick provides such great feel for the puck when you're stick handling, when you're passing, when you're shooting, and it really provides that playability that any elite hockey player is really looking for.
And it seems like the three keywords that we could talk about for Alpha here is stability, playability, and also balance. Now, moving on to more of that playability and just how it feels comfortable in the hands, we have some pretty unique shaft dimensions that we also don't find in covert or Novium. Walk me through that wishbone there.
So our ergo shaft shape, it's that dog bone shape, that concave sidewall on both sides of the stick. The stick fits in your hands incredibly comfortably and incredibly naturally, and that's what's going to provide great control, stick handling, passing, shooting, all of that. A stick that fits comfortably, you're going to have way more control over the stick, which then means way more control over the puck.
And that's what I noticed too, is just how comfortably, especially on the concave sidewalls there, it fits into the hands, especially with the raised texture that we find all the way throughout. Nice little grippy finish on it too. But most importantly, the style just looks unreal this year. So walk me through this before we start moving on to LX2.
Yeah, graphically, we put a lot of time and effort into this. We like a stick to be really quiet down the top edge, and when I say that, I mean not a lot of graphic from kind of that bottom hand to the blade. Really helps the player's eye when stick handling and shooting, but then adding some really great color pops in really key areas, so that iridescent chrome warrior hit in through the taper zone, this cool iridescent chrome X that wraps around the middle of the stick, and then bringing that nice strike yellow hit up at the top edge of the stick. Kind of a DX inspiration. If you remember back to the DX, we had that great strike yellow hit at the top of that stick. So bringing some of that back too. So yeah, a lot of time and energy into it. Color pops where you need it and add a little life to it, but keeping it pretty toned down overall.
And so as we're out here ripping some clappers and some heavier shots that this is built for compared to that covert line, we were coming back to it, stability through the Saber taper. So if I haven't checked out an Alpha stick in the past, I've been sleeping under a rock, that's a new term for me. Why is that so cool for not just the LX2 Pro player, but all the way down throughout the rest of the family?
Yeah, so what it really does is provide a lot of consistency on your shots, really putting that puck where you want it to go. If you put a bullseye in the net, you want to hit that bullseye 10 times out of 10, and having a stick that's really stable and strong torsionally is going to allow for that added accuracy and that consistency on your shots and on your passes.
So we covered the LX2 Pro for that elite level player looking for any advantage they can get over their opponent. The LX2 is still built for elite level hockey. Maybe someone looking for a little more durability because it is a little bit heavier. Yep. Not to say it's a heavy stick by any means, but someone that's looking for maybe a little more durability, maybe likes a little bit heavier of a stick, but wants elite level performance. What are a couple key features that we haven't touched on that we'll find in the LX2?
Yeah, so you hit it right on the head. LX2 is a durable stick. It's still an elite level hockey stick. It's 63 inches at the senior level, so that added length. Bigger players and things like that. Longer sticks is becoming a bit of a trend we're seeing in a lot of places, so a little bit added length there gives you more leverage when shooting the puck. We moved to a 6K weave all the way throughout, so moving down from that 25K weave on the LX2 Pro. But from there, a lot of things stay consistent. That same Saber taper, so that stability, durability, and consistency on your shots. That same ergo shaft shape, so a stick that fits really naturally and comfortably in your hands. 6K weave through the blade, and we move down to a slightly different construction on the blade where we do go back to 2 ribs on this blade. So again, a little bit heavier and adding for that durability.
That's awesome, and I feel like you're gonna say a lot of the same things you just said about the LX2 coming down from the LX2 Pro into the LX2 Max here. I think that's what's so cool about Warrior these days is you keep so many common features throughout, but walk me through for that competitive player looking for a lot of performance at a little bit more of an approachable price point, why this LX2 Max is just a home run.
Yeah, the LX2 Max might be my favorite stick in the entire offering. The value is through the roof. It's an incredibly lightweight stick. It's a construction that not that long ago was the top price point in the marketplace, and now you're, to your point, you're getting it at that nice approachable, more affordable price point. Unidirectional carbon fiber all the way through the shaft. Cool thing with unidirectional carbon fiber is the flex properties it gives with all the fibers going the same direction. Creates a really nice flex profile and also adds a lot of durability to the stick. We have a 12K weave on the blade, our fuel core blade. Same general construction as the LX2. Big difference there is we remove the grip texture from the blade and we go to a 12K weave wrapping that polymer core in the 2 ribs. Same ergo shaft shape, Saber taper design, so that same shot power, accuracy, and consistency. It is an absolute home run.
And now, last but not least, moving into the LX2 team and then the LX2 comp. I don't want to say these are recreational level sticks because they're priced recreationally, but they're offering some true competitive performance here. So walk me through these two and just why these are so special here as well.
Yeah, so LX2 team is cool. It's really a stick that's built to take a beating. You're playing juniors or high, elite bantams, midgets, whatever it may be. It's still a high level stick, but it's built for the rigors of using it 6 days a week and really taking a pounding and taking a beating. And that's what's really cool with with this. Same blade construction as the LX2 Max, same unidirectional carbon fiber shaft. We go to a 63-inch length at the senior level. Comes in a big assortment of blade patterns and flexes and all that. So if you want it, we got it in the LX2 team. And again, just a stick that can really take a pounding. And then when you go to LX2 comp, again, yeah, that recreational player, you're getting better, your skills are developing, you're looking for a little bit more performance. Unidirectional shaft on this, so just same what we were talking about with Max and with Team. This is really cool. On this one, we do a unidirectional carbon on the blade as well, and we add a uni stripe on it to really highlight that unidirectional carbon through the blade. So that same polymer core, 2 ribs, great feel for the puck, a lot of durability, and a really cool graphic with that black and silver.
So to finish us off here, if I was at home and I was maybe trying to watch some players on TV to see if, am I an alpha player? Am I a covert player? And, the alpha line has really piqued my interest. Who are a couple players using alpha that I could watch to see how I could maybe use it one day?
Yeah, we've got a lot of LX2s coming up in the league. I think our most notable guy using it right now is Leon Draisaitl. He's one of our alpha guys. Brad Marchand is another alpha player for us. A couple guys that, again, it goes back to that go anywhere, do anything type of player. Those are guys that can play really in tight and get the puck off quick. Also play Leon, especially that big one-timer from the face-off dot on power plays. Can't beat it, and so that's a big part of why he's an alpha guy.
Well, that just brought back a little shell shock as a Kings fan. So it is such a great example because he is just so dangerous from, whether you're on the hash marks or down low in tight. You just never know when that guy's going to score.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Well, once again, Rob, just want to say thanks for having us out and walking us through the alpha line.
Yeah, happy to do it.
And for you at home that want to check out the entire family, make sure you head over to icewarehouse.com.